is Martin Annie. I'm the Chief Experience Officer for EMEA at Globant. Today, we are honored to have John Fanelli with us. John is the VP of Enterprise Technology at NVIDIA. John, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, Martin, thanks for having me.
So let's dive right into it. What would you say if you had to choose a couple of emerging trends in AI infrastructure? What would those be?
We're seeing quite a number of trends, as you would imagine. At NVIDIA, we have tons of innovation going on in all different aspects. A couple of things that come to mind are, our next generation of GPUs are actually going to be liquid cooled, which is a unique way to handle things in the data center. And the main reason we're doing that is to really drive power efficiency. Right. We believe that, the world is going through a data center transition from, a sort of a CPU architecture to an accelerated computing or a GPU architecture. So that's like $1 trillion, over 10 years kind of investment change. And there's a concern that with that much accelerated computing, that the energy costs are going to go up, and more importantly, sort of what are the carbon issues are on doing that, with global warming, et cetera. And it turns out that with our newest GPUs, paired with our latest software, is that, for example, we actually reduced the amount of energy required for training by 2,000 times and inferencing by 10,000 times. So, in aggregate, a GPU server does use more electricity, but you need less of them than you need of a CPU server. So the aggregate is actually better for carbon emissions.
Those are incredible numbers. It's not a lot of times that you can boast, that magnitude of order of magnitude change. So, wow. So with these changes, what are some of the most interesting use cases that you see, for businesses to think about as these technologies continue to proliferate?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I can give you a different answer almost every day, right? Because we're working with new customers and they're coming up with a new, different ways to use the technology. On one hand, for example, NVIDIA, we use it to help us run and transform our business. So we have a use case that we call Chip Nemo, where we actually trained on our chip designs, our bug databases, our software code. And our engineers think of it as they have their AI teammate, their engineering teammate that helps them design GPUs. It writes sample code. It lets them look through, the bug database to see how things were solved. We're seeing agentic architecture is emerging very rapidly in it. So that first use case is kind of a chatbot. I can ask it like a question about a chip or please generate some code. But when you think about an agentic architecture, that's where you have an agent interact with the user, again, sort of in this AI teammate mode, where the agent breaks the problem up into multiple problems and then asks other agents to go solve those problems. And so, for example, one of our customers is using that for marketing. So like the marketing person, wants to build a marketing plan. So they ask the agent and give it the information. And that agent parcels off requests to a research agent, to a creative agent, to an agent that does messaging. And then all that information comes back to the original agent, who then calls an author agent that then puts it in the format of how we do our, not we, but how that company would do their marketing reports or their reports, generate the PowerPoint, whatever it is. So this agentic architecture where you break it up into multiple pieces and then you take action is really something that's emerging.
That's awesome. And particularly agents and agentic workflows for us also have, we're betting on that hugely as something that's going to really transform the way that all companies work. So maybe could you walk us through a little bit about agent blueprints and the work NVIDIA is doing along those lines?
Sure. So NVIDIA, from a software perspective, I know a lot of folks, associate us with our GPUs, and of course we're super proud of them. But we have quite a bit of software work that we do, and in fact, we have multiple X's and 2x, 3x more software engineers than we actually have hardware engineers. And so one of the key components is what we call an NVIDIA Inference Microservice, or a NIM, which allows us to highly optimize the ability to deploy an LLM. And as a standalone container, an LLM is interesting, but it's not enough. So we've created what we call NVIDIA agent blueprints. And so we have AI agent blueprints, we have simulation agent blueprints, and these are agentic. And we're building out like the most common use cases to help our partners and our customers get moving in the agentic space. So, we have a digital human, for example. If you want to speak to a digital human, and I know the Globant team has some great examples of this. I saw them in person when I was with you guys. That's one of our blueprints that you're picking up. But we have them for call center. We have them for healthcare and life sciences to accelerate drug discovery. There's a number of things we're doing with agents to really drive adoption.
That's amazing. Um, so for many companies that are perhaps just starting to dip their toes in the space, what would you say is like how would you recommend they go about it, or where should they put their focus?
Sure. I think the idea is you want to use AI to transform your business. And I know that like everybody uses the word transform, but you want to use it kind of the same way you do business today. So the way I like to think of it is that, my AI agent is like my AI teammate. So if I think about my agent making me more productive, I want to look at areas in my company where I'm using humans to do various things, whether it's accounting or engineering or marketing or supply chain or wherever humans are doing work, to make those humans more productive. So pick the use case first where you need that AI teammate. And our perspective is that, if I have an AI teammate, that means I can be more productive. That means my company is going to make more money. And, I don't know anybody that's ever gotten 100% of their budget. So the more money we're making based on my AI teammate, that gives me more money to do all the other ideas that I have that I haven't gotten to yet. So we really see figure out where your business today can be optimized, use AI and agents to solve those problems. And then once you solve those problems, it gives you more capital, more energy, more time to invest in all the other problems that you want to get to that you haven't started yet.
I think that's great advice. Thank you. So you mentioned a little bit about this earlier. The work that we've been doing together so far, which has been, we're incredibly happy about our partnership. Could you maybe talk to us a little bit about the how you see that partnership evolving, how we're driving innovation together? Anything to remark on that?
Sure. So obviously, we're super happy with the partnership as well. Globant has a great team, if you will, from the executive level to the planning level all the way through the technical level. And we've been spending a lot of time, as I mentioned, on the technology side, working on a digital human, right? And so everybody's familiar with this chatbot interface. But what we find is that in certain areas, like healthcare, typing into a box like I'm not feeling very well, or talking to a financial advisor and asking them where you should invest your money. You want that sort of human interface. And so the digital human work we've been doing is really great. So you want your digital human to be warm and empathetic. And we're doing some great work there. And that's just one example. Again, across our partnership, we're helping companies in every industry look at how they can utilize AI as their AI teammate to help them advance their business.
I love that concept, the AI teammate, and how it helps you structure it to like, how am I going to think about AI and how is it going to help my business be more effective and run smoother? John, thank you so much again for your time. It's always a pleasure having these types of discussions. And we're incredibly happy to have us join us here. So very much appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. As I mentioned, the partnership's going great, and we look forward to doing more great things with you guys in the future.